Hey everybody. Well, oh my gosh, I've really done it this time. As you can see here, and as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a full-size Vincent. Yes, I can't believe it. Vincent from the movie The Black Hole. One of my favorite movies. I love that movie from 1979. It was from Disney. It was the very first PG movie that Disney ever made. Uh, it was so different from all the previous stuff that they did, which was mostly G-rated movies. This was a dark movie, a really cool science fiction movie, a movie that I feel didn't get the credit it deserved. And of course, they had these really cool robots that stole the show. So now, as you can see, this is a beautiful, beautiful replica of Vincent right here. Now, this was built by a gentleman that I've talked about before in this on this channel. His name is 3D Trekker. His name is Jeff, and he builds amazing 3D things. I mean, he's the only one I know that can build stuff this big because he has these really large printers. So when I found out there was files for a Vincent, he was the first one I got a hold of because I knew that he could, print these pieces, and I wasn't sure if he was willing to do it. And thankfully he was. He was willing to take this on. I mean, I am telling you, he's big. If you can see the size of my hand here, this gives you an idea. When you see that movie, it's really kind of hard to tell how big Vincent is because, I don't know, sometimes he looks small and then other times he just looks huge. And I can tell you for a fact, he is huge. He is so much bigger than I thought he was. I mean, he's just absolutely massive. But, in fact, I mean, he's so big that if I step back here, I mean, you can see I don't even have a backdrop big enough. So he's on this stand. I'll talk more about this stand here in a minute because he doesn't come with a stand. So we had to fabricate one for this, but this is the way we've got him displayed. Beautifully, beautifully done. So let's go ahead and start with his eyes. So he's got those little button eyes like he did in the movie. You can see this is all 3D printed. It's amazing, but look how good that looks. The nice red coloring on his head. Here's the top of his, I guess you could call it some people call it his hat. I guess it is. Here, let me get some light on here. You can see the details on the top here. Oh yeah, this is so cool. Really, really nice. They did, oh my gosh. So Jeff had his son Jaden help with some of the paint job and stuff. I was talking to Jaden and he said they watched that movie like, I don't know how many times to make sure they try to get all the details correct. Here on the side, you can see this awesome vent. That's actually a piece of screen that they put in there. You can see that screwed in for the frame. Look how fantastic that looked. This is like a very accurate file that was made for this. Here's some more detail on here. Everything lights up. I'll turn on the lights so you can see Vincent. Oh man, the lighting brings him to life. You got all the really awesome decals. I guess Jeff has a way of printing those decals on there, which is really cool. That's his claw that I don't think you actually ever see Vincent use that in the movie. Here on the front, you can see these details. I always found it interesting that Vincent had these lights with a cover on it, but then these ones were just exposed. Kind of weird the way that they had him, but look at how the paint job for the beige sections are beautiful. Those are the LEDs. That's that little panel that opens up where the drill comes out, and Vincent drills into Maximilian. Look at that. So he's got a way to print all these decals on here. Let me see if I can come over here. Sorry, it gets a little dark, but you can see the details over here as well. I'll show you the back, but I got to try to turn them around, which isn't going to be easy. But for now, I'm just kind of focusing on the front. Look at his legs. You got that great detailing on there. This is all painted, and then he's got some decals around here as we go. Now, sorry, I got to try to get in front of this light. Man, he's so big, it's hard to film him. Oh my gosh. So here's that awesome screen. Look there's actually a grid in there. I was really surprised to see that. These lights will light up. I think Jaden said that they made these and put the lights behind them. So those are 3D printed. Here's his laser. Look at that. And that's his claw. Now we see him use these claws quite a bit in the movie, but that's where they are. And then I just watched that movie recently, and how do I not notice this stuff? But there's actually lights in here, and they did notice that, and they put those lights in there. I'll show you that. There's the little cover for when his claws come out and they open. And then here's the other side. Okay, let me show you the back real quick. Okay, so now here's the back of him. You can see the details continue to be just amazing. Got that line right there. He's got all the proper lettering on here. All of this. Now, Jeff had to redo the certain parts of that file to make certain things go together better. So they have modified it, and I think they've modified it even more. In fact, I think Jaden was telling me that if they build another one of these two pieces here are going to be separate pieces. They're going to be inserts, so it'll make it easier to paint. That way you don't have to kind of mask off all of this. So you can just put a piece in there, and the lines will be nice and sharp. That way you don't have to worry about painting it. I think they did that with some of the panels up front. Look at that. That looks so good. There's the detail back here. More down here. Now that's where you plug him in for his power. You can see I got him sitting on this stand. I'll talk more about that stand here in just a little bit. Oh man, this is so cool. And what else is cool is they left a few blemishes on him, which I kind of think adds to the reality. Jaden was telling me that they decided to leave some of the blemishes on there because if you look at Vincent, he does have blemishes on him. You know, we don't know what happened to Vincent before we meet him in this movie, so who knows what kind of adventures he had before we get to see him. So I think it's kind of cool. It adds a little bit of realism to him. All right, well, I'm sure you're all excited to see him lit up, so let's do that. All right, so now I turned down the light so we can see his lights better. So let me turn it on. Now there's the switch down here. I did notice that connector was coming loose, so I did re-glue it back in place in that last bit of footage there. So turn this on. Let me step back a few feet here, and there he is. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, I wish I had Vincent when I was going to all those conventions here in town. Unfortunately, that couple that was running that convention retired. Would have been really fun to bring Vincent to that show. Look at how good this looks. I mean, it's so good. So let's start with these lights here. Now, these are really cool. Now, unfortunately, the camera is not showing the really rich colors of these. This is like a really nice amber color. It looks more yellow here. I zoom in, maybe you can see the amber color. Not quite. And then that red is a richer red too. It's just getting washed out on camera, but look at that. That looks so good. Here's these side ones. I love that. Ah, that's so cool. Then on this side, we have these. Oh man, just exactly like you saw him in the movie. I mean, this Vincent could have been used in the movie. I mean, seriously, it's that good. Now over here on the front, of course, we got the awesome heartbeat monitor that Vincent has. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Now, Jeff was telling me that I think before we were talking about some other project, and he said that electronics isn't his forte, and it's not mine either. Trust me, I know very, very little about electronics. So I wasn't sure if he was going to add this effect in here, and thankfully he did. I think they found somebody to make this circuit or something. I'm not really sure. So I'm really glad that he added that in there because that's really the only moving lights on Vincent. At least, you know, with Vincent's lighting, it's relatively simple since the lights just stay on solid for the most part. There's no crazy blinking lights anywhere except for just right there. Here's these ones right here that Jaden was telling me that I think they made the lenses for these, and the lights are actually behind there. Those are actually 3D printed pieces in there. How cool is that? Now, I was watching the movie before Jaden came over because I wanted to refresh my memory about the movie and everything, and I don't know how I didn't notice this, but these lights are in here. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it previously in this video, but I don't know why I never noticed that Vincent had these lights in here. I mean, you can see it's on both sides. Got them over here too. And it's cool. I mean, the way it lights up that little compartment in there. But what's awesome is that they got the colors exactly correct. I mean, they're red and yellow, just like they were in the movie. And they got that really cool, I don't know what you call this material, this like lens material that's kind of got that cool texture to it. That looks so good. So good. So yeah, look at that. Now, I discovered that there were files for this because I was watching the World of Wayne channel. Now, I've mentioned Wayne before on my channel because Wayne is a really cool guy. He's really cool. He's from the UK, and I love his accent. And he usually focuses on his channel. It's called World of Wayne. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. But he mostly focuses on those part work kits. But then he also does these live streams that are fun to join in and chat with everybody. And so one day he was working on this Vincent. I was like, oh my gosh, where did you get that Vincent? And I found out that he had some files for him. I'm not sure where he got them. And then I think his Vincent's only 60% though. It's not as big as this one. It's like, I don't know, about a little over half size. And you can see it in the back of his shop when he's doing his live streams. He wall mounted his Vincent. I'm not sure how he did it because there's no supports on the inside. But that's how I found out about it. And so I don't think I have the link to the files anymore. So I'll put a link to Wayne's channel. And if you want to get the files for this and you have the capability of printing these parts, then hit up Wayne for the files so you can get it. There's also a Vincent Builders Club, I believe. Just like the B9 Builders Club and the R2D2 Builders Club, well, there's a Vincent Builders Club as well. And it's on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know. I just don't want to get on Facebook. I just never hear anything good about it. So, but I know I'm missing out on some of these cool clubs and stuff. But you can check them out as well if you're on Facebook. But oh man, this is just amazing. All right. So now, in case you're wondering how it looks on the inside, this is a good view of it. So here we can see how all of this was put together. Now look at how, oh God, this is amazing. This is all bolted together. You can see all the screwing and bolting that went on. That's the bottom of the leg domes. Got the wiring in here. Everything's bolted. All the panels. Here's the main wiring for the screen. And all these lights go up here. Quite a bit of wiring on this. So, the good thing about Vincent is that the only kind of tricky lighting that he has is that heartbeat monitor on his screen. At least the rest of the lights are just solid. Let me see, where's the ones back here? Oh, I guess it's just over here on the side. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have lights on the back. I forgot about that. Yeah, but really excellent wiring job they did on this. So, oh man, really top-notch construction. Really, really well done. Here's what the inside of the head looks like. You can see how that's all been printed in there. That's where the eyes are. They have actual screen mesh right here for the sides of his head, like the ears. And then here's the inside of his, I guess you can call it his hat, maybe. You can see how all of this is made. It looks like this whole main ring is one piece. It looks like it anyway, and then that top piece is a separate part. So yeah, very cool. I mean, the parts on this look amazing. Now, if you decide to build Vincent yourself, or if you decide to have Jeff build you one, just know that Vincent doesn't come with a stand. For whatever reason, that file doesn't really have anything on the inside of Vincent to accommodate any kind of a support system, which is odd. I think most people would like to have like a single pole that goes up through the bottom of him, and then maybe something solid in the middle to connect it to. But there's nothing like that. It's all hollow inside. So you're going to have to come up with something else. So this is something my dad and I came up with. And it's very similar to what we did when we were building the Lost in Space robot, the full-size robot from like 24 years ago. We used PVC pipe to support the inside of him because there wasn't any support system back then for those. So this is a big piece of PVC. It's 4.5-inch PVC, and it's 30 inches long. Now, the length of this is going to depend on how tall you want Vincent to sit on here. I'm a short guy. I'm like 5'6", 5'7", and I want to be able to try to look Vincent in the eye to eye. So I made this 30 inches. It goes down here. We have one of those plumbing flanges that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot, and we just screwed it in. See the screw there? We screwed the pipe to the flange. There's another one on the other side. And then we just screwed down the flange to the wood. And then these are 1-inch PVC. And then comes all the way down here. These are 36 inches long. These are the metal flanges that you can buy for that. And there's a set screw in there, a hex nut screw. And then there's one on each side. And so this pipe is very strong, this middle one. Vincent will sit on here without actually these pieces on here, but I wanted to add those pipes just for extra stability that go under his arms, since you've already seen what he looks like on the stand. So it was just a very simple thing, but it works, and it's strong. Since he weighs, oh gosh, I don't know how heavy Vincent is. He's a hefty boy. I mean, I'm thinking he's about 50 pounds, maybe. I don't know if he weighs. I don't know. He's somewhere in that area. He's a hefty robot, but he'll sit completely on this even without these. But you know, I think just to be on the safe side. And then I also glued some felt. There's 2 layers of felt on there so that it's soft and it doesn't scratch the bottom of them. I don't want the paint scratched. And then I also added 2 layers of uh, felt on here just to make sure that I don't scratch the paint, because as you saw, the paint job on Vincent is absolutely phenomenal, so I don't want to mess that up. And then we found this round piece of wood at Lowe's. It's already pre-cut. So we just kind of, once we attached this piece and set Vincent on there, we kind of measured out where his arms, the bottom of his arms are, and then just, put the distance between here and here properly. I think it was like 12 inches or something, 12, 13 inches between this one and the middle of that. But that's an option for you if you are trying to figure out how to display him. I'm sure there's other ways you can do this, but this was simple. It didn't cost that much. I think it was like $85 for all of this stuff. But yeah, all right. Well, hopefully that helps you when you have your Vincent and you're trying to figure out how you're going to set him up. Just for fun, let's see what he looks like in the dark. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, once again, the lights are getting, blurred out right there, but oh, this is so cool in the dark. Oh, I really love that. That is so cool the way that lights up that whole compartment in there. Oh, he makes a great nightlight. Oh, that's awesome. I just had to see what he looked like in the dark. So now, if you want Jeff to make you one of these, there's a couple things to consider. Now, first of all, the time frame. Now, this is not something that he can just whip together in a couple of months. This is a very time-consuming and labor-intensive thing to build, And so he's also got a lot of other things that he builds on the side as well. His whole business is 3D printing stuff. So he's still got those orders to put out. So this kind of thing takes a lot of time away from that. But, just give him plenty of time to work on this. He'll get it done, trust me, and he'll send you progress reports to show you, like progress pictures to show you where he's at in the build. And trust me, you will be very happy with your purchase. Because I could not be more tickled about this. I mean, this is like so awesome. Vincent is like my final robot on my bucket list of robots that I've always wanted, and this is just a sheer masterpiece. Now, I think Jeff mentioned something to the effect that I think the file has some extra little accessories or goodies. I think if you want that, I believe he said that if you want the claws to be extended, I think he can print the parts to make this stick out like it did in the movie. I don't know if this is a separate piece, the retracted one, and the extended one is a separate piece, and then you can just switch them out. I'm not sure how that works. These are the lasers, and I'm pretty sure that you can have it so that the lasers are extended as well. So that'll be for both sides. I think also there's a piece for having the legs extended. So if you want those, just discuss it with Jeff, and I'll probably be a little bit extra because, money wise, because he's got to print all these extra pieces and parts. So just keep that in mind. Also, I don't know if he mentioned this or not, and I'm not really sure if this file contains the brain. So in the movie, Vincent's head goes up and down a couple of times, just this part. And when he does, you can see that he's got a dome above his head, and his brain is in there. There's a bunch of flashing lights and stuff. So I don't know if this file comes with that. It may not. This particular Vincent, he just printed it so that this piece goes on top of this piece, which goes on top of that piece. And I'm glad, because I would never display my Vincent with his brain showing anyway. And also, even if I had those extra pieces, this is the way I would have displayed my Vincent anyway, because 95% of the time you see him in the movie, he's got all those things retracted. So this is the way I would have had it. But just know that those options are there. Now, if you don't have a printer, but maybe you'd like to build this Vincent for yourself, ask Jeff if he can print the parts for you, and then maybe just ship them to you. And then you can go ahead and build them, like just glue the parts, sand, paint, do the electronics, the decals, all the details. I think this would have been a really fun project to build. But as I've mentioned in the past, I live in a really small townhome here. I don't have a garage. I don't have a basement, which is kind of a bummer. And so I don't have, the space to work on something like this. So thankfully, Jeff can build it for you if you want to do that. Now, I think the big thing that most people are wondering is how much did this cost? What is the cost of this? So I'm just going to tell you right now, it is not a cheap thing. This is not a cheap thing because, I mean, look at him. This is a huge, full-size, fully functional Vincent. So I will say the price was in the 4 digits. I was going to say what the price was, but I decided to change my mind because this video is probably going to be up forever on YouTube. And say somebody a year or 5 years from now asks Jeff to build one of these, assuming he's still building them. And so the price is going to be different. It's going to have a different price for the rising cost of stuff and things like that, or whatever it is. Once again, this was the first one he built. So that's just something you can ask him for prices and stuff like that. But I will tell you that this was worth every penny that I paid. I mean, this is just an absolute masterpiece, movie quality good. Disney, I think, would have been jealous to have this piece. And I am so grateful that Jeff and his family were able to create this masterpiece because this is the coolest Vincent. This is now the final check mark on my list of robots that I've always wanted, my bucket list of robots. Vincent is the final one. So now I can finally put that list to bed. This is so cool. So a big, huge thank you to 3D Trekker, otherwise known as Jeff. I'll put a link in the description to his website. You can chat with him about this if you want one. And then also I'll put a link to Wayne's channel, The World of Wayne, so you can get the files from him if you want. And so all the links will be in the description. But anyway, thank you very much to Jeff. Thank you eternally to Jeff and his family for creating this. I am so grateful to you. This is so cool. Wow, God, I just absolutely love Vincent. You guys did an outstanding job on this. All right, well, that's it for this video. If you like this sort of stuff, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you on the next video. So thank you for watching and have a good one.